We are live again. Yes, I said we. I know you only see me on the screen right now, but I just want you to know that we are live. We are in color. If you have YouTube and you're live with us, put a 1 in the comments. If you are like, oh, I'm watching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you are a replay viewer. We love our replay viewers. We love people who come on. We are on this beautiful podcast again with the neighborhood therapist. I am super excited to have this conversation on today. We're going to be talking about self-awareness and self-acceptance. And when I tell you, she is an amazing. Okay, can I say amazing one more time? Amazing person. And I'm so thankful for her life. I'm so thankful for what she does. I'm so thankful for just her spirit. One of the reasons why I decided to do these chats with her before leading up to the conference is I feel like this is like a glimpse of what you'll get when you come into the whole woman wellness conference. This is what you'll get when you come into, I know it's a little tongue twister, but this is what you'll get. These are some of the gems. These are some of the prayers, some of the positive affirmation. This is what you'll get. So tune in and go ahead and register. If you have not already registered, go to Eventbrite, go to Whole Woman's Wellness, and you can just type that in and then it will come up in Eventbrite. And make sure you click on each day. So there's the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. So it's a 3-day conference. And we want you to be there every day. Yes, every day. The 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. Go to Eventbrite right now while we live. You can go on another computer or go on another device. Go to Eventbrite and go ahead and register for the conference. As I bring her up, I want to introduce to some and present to others my friend and one of my favorite therapists, Jessica Renee.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've been?
I'm doing well, thank you. More to that, but my name is Jessica Renee. Last name is Rogers, but I just go by Jessica Renee. I am out of Kentucky. I am a licensed therapist out of Kentucky. I'm a mom. I'm a daughter. Not a wife yet, but we praying on it, okay? But yes, like I said, I'm out of the state of Kentucky. Me and Andrea met about, I guess it's been 2.5 years ago on another podcast that we did, and we just kind of clicked, and we've been going strong ever since. And I'm thankful to be here, thankful that she has given me the ability to kind of stretch myself. I feel like each year for the Whole Woman's Wellness Conference, she does something that also stretches me. So that's how I know it's a God ordained relationship, because people will come. He puts people in your life to sharpen you or to stretch you. So she is definitely one that stretches me. So I appreciate you for that, Andrea.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Because every stretcher needs a stretcher, and every stretchy needs a stretch.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all copy it.
That was a lot. Did you catch
it? But we all have, I think, those things that we have been praying about, and those things that we kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that later, or I'm gonna do that. And God will give us the right people. And he'll be like, okay, go ahead, a little push. Again, we're going to be talking about self-awareness on tonight. And as we get into the conversation, the first question I want to ask you is, how do we begin to truly get to know ourselves? I don't even want to go any further from just that one. Like, this question is like a 3 or 4 part, but I just want to stay right there on that first part. How do we begin to truly get to know ourselves?
Yes, that is a trifold question. And I will say also there's no right or wrong way, because I think getting to know yourself happens through growth, just life, like things happening. And because sometimes you don't know how you'll respond until something happens, and now you have the ability to kind of test yourself. But I think that it comes in many ways. Learning to be still with yourself and just being like observing, like going over in your head, how did this come about? Or asking yourself those deeper questions. What do I really feel about this? Or did that have a big impact on me, or did it not? You know, um, sometimes it is just about reflecting on things that have happened in the past, because we can't worry about something that has never happened, right? So we have to kind of use our past sometimes as our guide to see where we have been, to see kind of where we want to change directions, and help us lead us in the way that we would hope to go. So doing, like I said, it's a threefold question, and there's no right or wrong way, and there's no right or wrong answer to that, because it's going to look different for everyone.
And something that I would say is one of the ways that for me I got to know myself was asking myself hard questions. Mm-hmm. So I started off with what has truly made you smile? When was that moment that you had extreme joy? Like, what was it that lifted you up? What and a lot of times I don't feel like we ask ourselves questions enough, or we even go through these type of things with ourselves, because I feel like sometimes we forget that as we grow, as we age, as life different things in life happens, we evolve and we change. What made us happy in one season might not make us happy in our next season. What excited us in one season might not be as exciting to us in our next season. And becoming more self-aware is asking yourself the hard questions. And you're like, Dre, is that really a hard question? And I'm going to say, yes, it is, because sometimes you can be real surface with those questions and it could be easy. Mm-hmm. Or you can go a little bit deeper, and it will get a little tougher, because you'll be like, okay, when was the last time I had that excitement or that joy from the inside out? When was the last time that, I was just truly happy, truly, mm-hmm. No inhibitions, no. And then if you're able to like just, get it off the bat, and you just like, oh, Dre, I got this. Yeah. You right there, my friend, you are self-aware. Right. And that's the type of thing that we want to open ourselves up to. So,
yes. And I'll even go a step further. Like, sometimes we are aware of ourselves, but sometimes we're not aware of how ourselves affect others, right? And so that's another level of awareness as well. Like, even in the midst of me being happy, did I cause chaos? Right? Does my happiness look like somebody else's chaos? Like, do I have to cause chaos to be happy? So that's why I say it's trifold, because what you may find out also may be the thing that it's like, okay, it's blocking me from being a better me.
Oh, this right here, I feel like that's something that, that is so good. I mean, I could say so much from that, but I think that's another way that not only are we self-aware, but we have self-acceptance, because sometimes we do have to accept that, my happiness may be in return somebody's chaos, or some things that I'm liking or that I'm doing, somebody may not, like or even feel comfortable, with the things. But yes, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, like I said, this was a 3-part question. So the first part was, how do we begin to truly get to know ourselves? And then the second part is beyond our roles.
Mhm.
So beyond the hats that we wear, beyond being a mother, beyond being a teacher, beyond being a therapist, beyond how do we truly get to know ourselves beyond the role that we play in other people's lives?
Mhm. So that first part, the first question was for me, in my opinion, to be quiet, like to give yourself that quiet time to kind of reflect and try ask those hard questions. The second one is diving deeper underneath that. Like so think about it this way. If my title was stripped away from me today, if I was no longer a therapist, am I leaning on that to be my identity, to be, and I think sometimes as Americans we do that. We hold the title becomes our identity, and that's not who we are, that's what we do. So if I ask myself, if I stripped away this title today, or this job was no longer in what I was doing, do I know who I am? Right. So fine. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I have iPhone pets. That was a yay question, I guess. um, do I know who I am? So asking myself, like you said, what are those things that I enjoy? What is it that makes me happy? What is it that I do that nobody can really kind of take away from me? Even if I job left today, if I couldn't go out and spend money, if I couldn't, what are those things that make me me, that no that nothing can be that can't be taken away from me, right? So I like to sing, I like to listen to music. That's something that even if I was a therapist or wasn't a therapist, I can do and I still get enjoyment from it. So what are those things that make you you, that make you say, huh, like I don't have to have a title to feel confident, to feel like me, because I know who me is.
That's good. I don't have to have a title to be me because I know who me is. Like I know who I am. I like that. I like that a lot. The next question is, how do we begin to truly get to know ourselves beyond our own expectations? And this to me was a big one because, like I said, this question is so many different pieces and I'm breaking it down. I hope Jessica is okay with this. But when I think about my own expectations of what I want and what I've wanted, and how I've changed again over like years and over like from my 20s to my 30s and now in my 40s, you know, how do we get to the place where we evaluate new expectations?
So I would say I'm kind of in this stage myself currently. So I have had clients, especially some of my older clients, I ask them to write, kind of think about, well, not write out, but or however they want to do it. But I ask them, like, what does success mean to you today? Because it's just like food. When you're young, your palate for food is very simple. It's very like chicken nuggets and fries, right? And so as you get older, you're like, I want some steak, so your palate begins to change, but it doesn't mean that you may not still like chicken nuggets and fries, and so just kind of rewriting, what is it that actually means something to me now? Like, where am I at? What is my palette like for now? And if you think about the stages of change, as you get older, the things that you care about are more centered around humanity. Like, I want well for others. And so, like, you see it's just like I think about grandparents at this stage, or aunts and uncles. Like, they want to give back to their nieces and nephews. They want to love on, so it's that palette change of, this is my focus has now changed, of less of not thinking only about me, but like, how am I affecting the environment around me, and what does that look like? What it may be that I'm in my career, but now, like, I've reached the top of where I want to go. So what does my next stage of life look like? What is my next thing for me that makes me feel successful, right? So I really like that, asking yourself that question of, what is success for me at this phase of life? And that can be just, I am in my home, I'm able to travel a little bit, I'm able to provide Christmas gifts to everybody, I'm able to, whatever that is. And just being accepting of, okay, I'm where I want to be in life, or if I'm not, then what do I need to do to kind of help supplement that, or kind of get close to that? Has my purpose changed? Well, your purpose doesn't. I don't think, well, twofold. I think your purpose can change in life. It's just, your vision may change,
Yeah.
So just kind of knowing what it is that you want and how does that look?
Yeah. I like that question. Ask yourself, what does success look like? I feel like, again, there are so many different stages that we go through as people, and we need to ask ourselves the questions. This is how we become more self-aware. This is how we become more self-accepting. And this is how we even stop judging ourselves. Because I think a lot of times we are overly critical of ourselves. We are harder on ourselves than anybody. Right. And I think the first step to becoming more self-aware is asking ourselves the questions and also giving ourselves the grace. After we answer those questions, give yourself some grace. Like, wherever the answers are, it's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. The therapist told us that in the beginning. She said, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
So give yourself the grace as we go through this. Thank you so much, Jessica, for saying that. Because I'm repeating that over and over to myself, like giving myself grace. What are some signs that someone is disconnected from themselves?
Oh, this is a good one. So being overly busy, I think.
Jessica, hold on. You're getting on my toes.
Being overly busy because, and I will say I'm guilty of it too, or procrastinating, because that is, I notice I do that when it's something, I'll find everything else to do, but the thing I'm supposed to be doing, right? And sometimes, people who are disconnected from themselves, it's usually an emotional feeling that they're running from, or they don't want to have to sit and evaluate how they're actually feeling. Because either one, they don't want to have to feel it, or two, they're worried. They don't want to have to worry about there being something to feel, or, or there being something wrong, or things like that. For men, I think about, kind of like that older generation of man of, I'm not going to the doctor because they're just going to give me bad news, right? I don't want to have to hear any bad news. So if I just don't go, I won't hear any bad news, right? So now what was the question again? I got a lot. But what are some disconnected? Yes. So being overly busy, and again, you have to figure out if this fits you, right? Because some people are just naturally busy. If you have a high demand job, that is something that comes with the job. But like I said, I know when I'm procrastinating, that means I'm usually either not I'm doing everything else, but doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing, because either it brings up something or makes me feel like inadequate, like I don't know how to do this really, so I'm just going to avoid it. Things like that. Let's see. Also, maybe not people that don't like feedback.
Well, Jessica,
you don't like feedback because, again, that makes you have to stop and evaluate you, right? And so not wanting to get feedback or anything that's critical or like criticism feedback, that's not praise, could make you feel something that you don't want to feel. So you're like, I want to avoid that. Let's see.
Ooh,
those are the three main.
Listen, Jessica, don't even say nothing else. We got to marinate on them. We got to marinate on them.
Yeah.
Woo! She hitting us hard tonight, y'all. Or maybe I should say me. She hitting us hard tonight. I'm gonna add y'all in here with me. But thank you so much, Jessica, because I can see this so much in myself. So many times when I am trying not to, or I'm being avoidant with something that I need to work on, sometimes I'm just doing so much. I'm talking about this on top of this on top of this. Now I have gotten better because Jessica even told me I gotten better on I don't know if y'all watched that episode. She did tell me that if y'all didn't go back and watch that episode, it was on episode 1. She had told me I got better. But anyways, I can still see, like I can see moments in my life where I was disconnected from myself because I was doing so much. I can also see moments where in my life where I was not accepting of people telling me, Drea, you need to stop being so busy. And I remember those moments, and at the time, I'm not gonna say I knew this, but I can see it now. Like I was very disconnected from myself. And understanding that now and learning how to slow down now. One of the reasons why you probably haven't seen me live like I used to be. One of the reasons why you don't see me as much on social media. One of the reasons why you don't even see a lot of what I'm doing. I normally used to post. But I have stepped back so much because I'm slowing down so much. So I want to give myself a pat on the back and say, you know what, Drea, you've overcome. Like you've become more connected because you stopped doing the things that made you disconnected. That's why I'm like, hold on. Yeah. But let's get to the next question.
That's kind of why I struggle with the whole, like, I would never consider myself an influencer, but the whole like trying to make a social media presence, like to monetize, like it's not that I wouldn't want to, but it's the fact that I feel like it's just so much that I have to give of my time and myself, and you know, like, and I know somebody who'd be like, oh, it's not that hard. Yeah. You know, and it may be one of those things for me. I need to slow down and really ask, like, why is it? But I do ask myself that, but I feel like it's one of those things of, it's just, I feel like because it's not super authentic to me. Like I can't just be, I know I have my phone, but like having, take a picture. Think to record that. Think to do, you know, to me, it becomes inauthentic because I'm always looking for a moment to try to post something or having to say something, or so I'm never in the moment. I'll be so much more thinking about what do I need to post from this so people like it. You know, maybe that's just how my brain
is. I'm gonna say something to kind of bust your bubble a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something to bust your bubble a little bit. Something that somebody told me and something that I heard was your most authentic self is just being you. There is nothing inauthentic about showing up on social media unless you try to become something that you're not. Unless you're, you know, putting on a caricature. There are so many moments where we take pictures and it's not about social media. It's not like, I was looking through my phone the other day. One of the reels that I made the other day was me playing volleyball. I mean, not volleyball, but playing I was bowling and I had did a strike. That video was like 2 years old. But I found it in my phone and I put a caption above it, and that's one of the highest performing reels that I have. And when I say there's no guesswork to putting stuff on social media, just look at my phone and just be like, oh, okay, let me put that on there.
Yeah.
There's no guesswork. So I hear what the therapist is saying, but I'm going to kind of rebuttal her. Okay. I'm going to kind of get her.
I don't consider that my world. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't consider that, like, that's not my niche at this time. So it's all right.
I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But at the same time, there's so much that there are so many people who are waiting on our voice to show up on social media. When I say people just post anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And to be a woman of God, to be a therapist, and to be a person who is needed, it's not a question of should you show up. It's when are you going to? Because it's mandatory for your voice to be heard because you're a voice that God considers. Like God speaks to you and he shows up in you when you show up online. Just by you coming on here today, you've answered so many questions that I've had. You've even opened up to me some things that I didn't even realize that I needed. But it's because of your voice. And I know we want to have all these excuses of why we don't show up, but I cannot allow you to do that. I must tell you that your voice is needed. Your presence is needed. Even if you don't even do it, like I don't do it every day. I have so many scheduled posts. So it's not even something that I have to think about.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to do it. I'm not going to get on to my soapbox. I'm going to continue back to our regular scheduled program. But I have to tell my sister that because her voice is so amazing. Well, and I feel like this next question might be for you.
All right. Okay. It might be.
How do we begin the journey of self-acceptance when we've spent years in self-criticism?
I guess that was for me. And I'll say that why that's for me is because, along the step of the way, every step of the way, just like everybody else, becoming a parent, going to school, going back to get my master's, especially when I was tired, that's how, like, that self-awareness of knowing when I'm overly tired because my self-talk changes. And so, again, I think the biggest part of that is the self-awareness, because when we become aware of how things affect us or how we're showing up or what we need, is where we can start to, again, change the narrative. So, self-acceptance is part of accepting. So let's break down the word. Self is you. And then acceptance is anything that is affecting, coming towards you, or becoming part of you, right? So accepting that, okay, I'm tired, learning to accept that I gotta be because I didn't prepare, or learning to accept that things that day are just not gonna go how they planned. When we can learn to accept how we feel about something, that's the first stage of acceptance. Accepting how you feel, I guess being aware and then accepting how you feel or what's affecting you, how it's making you feel. And the third stage of acceptance is then, after I've accepted it, how do I move forward? So moving forward is then, okay, if like I said, my self-talk changes when I'm tired, I need to plan to get more sleep. I need to plan to remove something from my schedule, or if somebody has asked me to do something, I need to let them know, like, hey, like, I can't, I know you've asked, but I'm not able. What does that look like for me moving forward? Or it could be me expressing, like, hey, I'm very tired, I'm sorry, but I can't have this conversation with you tonight. I don't have the capacity. Or that made me feel uncomfortable, and I've got to put some distance here. So what does that next step of acceptance, after I've accepted what's going on or what is happening, how do I need to move forward?
I love that so much. Asking myself the question and then knowing how can I move forward. I feel like as we go, like we're wrapping up and we're like giving each other this warm hugs in this moment, because a lot of times when we've been so critical of ourselves, it's hard to hear and it's hard to say thank you when you hearing like people just giving you compliments. And I'm gonna start off with the next question. I'm gonna answer it for you. What's one truth every woman needs to remind herself daily when working on self acceptance is that you are enough, as is, the way you are. You are enough. The moment has come where you must realize that you are enough. You don't have to be self critical of yourself anymore. You can accept the compliment. It's okay to accept the compliment. It's okay to say thank you. It's okay when somebody's giving you a compliment. I'm gonna give Jessica a compliment. We're gonna do this little exercise right here, real quick. Your voice is needed, Jessica.
Thank you.
Y'all see how easy that was? Do y'all see how easy that was? Because a lot of times when we hear these compliments, when we hear these things, when we've been so critical of ourselves, when we say, oh, well, that's not really who I am. You go through all of those. You are enough. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, point blank, period, the end. I'm gonna let Jessica answer now.
Well, I think that you said it all. I think that encompasses everything that you need to know, that God gave you everything you needed to do everything that He wants you to do, or that you even need to do.
It's a need.
Right. So I think she summed it up very well. I don't think I need to say anything else.
Thank you so much for joining us again and again. Where can they find you? How can they hear more of your voice and see you showing up on social media in these streets?
Yes. You can find me on Facebook at Jessica Renee. Just look for me, add me, and let's be friends.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on again. Y'all remember, go ahead. If you want to hear more of these type of conversations and me and her just going back and forth, like I love our banter. I hope she does too. Yeah. I am always going to push my sister, and I'm always going to tell her how amazing she is, because she is just that. She is amazing in every right, in every way. And you are too. So don't forget to show up to the Holiness Wellness Conference. We need you in the room. Go to Eventbrite and type it in and register for all 3 days. Have an amazing day. Thank you. Bye-bye.